Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Urban Woman Tarot. Please feel free to like and follow my Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and my Instagram page. Everything on all three platforms is The Urban Woman Tarot. On my Instagram page, you may have seen on my Facebook page daily card pulls. Those are posted to my Instagram page. Feel free to like and follow the Instagram page because here's my goal for it. Right now I'm posting pick cards. I'm also sharing them to the Facebook page. Just so you guys that are on Facebook can get a feel for it or an idea for it. If you're on YouTube, go over to the Facebook page, the Instagram page, because eventually the Instagram page is strictly going to be for the pick a card readings. So my goal there is to post 3 cards each day. You'll pick your card, A, B, or C, and then I'm going to post the picture of the pictures, and then the next picture is going to be the reveal. Now the cards themselves, I'm using cards that are pretty self-explanatory. When you look at the face of the card, it will have its name or its somewhat meaning on the card. So basically these are going to be oracle cards, so you can look at them and see. I don't have to really go into it and explain to you what the card means. It says it right there. So eventually those are just going to be for the Instagram page. Now if you have, because this is my second Facebook page for my Urban Woman channel. I had one that I started like 5 years ago, and I had I had a huge amount of followers on it, and then I changed it and switched it, and that's something that I wish I hadn't done. So anyways, here we are. But so I may go back to just using that that Facebook page again, just because I had a huge amount of followers on it. But I don't know, I switched it up a few years ago and started a new page for this, and I kind of regret doing that. But anywho, so if you are one of those that followed me a long time ago, I used to do daily videos, daily readings. I didn't start out doing the videos. I did like a blog. So it was all typed up. I pulled a card, but I pulled other pieces from other things and melded it into like a blog. So I used the Angel Numbers book by Doreen Virtue. I pulled the number, which will be equivalent to the day's date, and I used that message. I came across a friend who had some healing cards with numbers, and I can't remember what the lady's name is. Oh yeah, okay, Ina Segal. And she only made a certain amount of cards for that deck in particular, and they didn't have any more in publication. So I took the cards and actually wrote down the meanings. So because those cards are by numbers, so I took the number that was equivalent to the daily date, and I incorporated that into my daily message. I took some passages from, I'm a firm believer in Native American culture and their belief systems. I incorporate a lot of that into my readings, my lifestyle, and I incorporated that into those daily blogs as well. And a lot of people like that. So I am eventually going to start doing the same thing again, but I'm going to use Instagram's IGTV or something, whatever that is. So where I'm going to actually do face-to-face daily devotions where I use the angel number that's equivalent for the day. I use that healing card message equivalent for the day. I'm going to pull a message from, like a passage from either one of my Native American books that I love. There's also a book out there called Leaves of Gold, and I love that book. It's a book composed of poems from all different poetic people from all across time, and they're awesome. I'm also going to incorporate some messages from Louise Hay, so those will be in there. They'll be face to face on the Instagram IGTV thing, and they'll be on the page, but I will of course let you know when I start doing that. But for now, I've got the daily pick-a cards. I would pop over there, like and subscribe, or follow the page. You'll get an instant reminder when a card has been posted. So there's that for you. This reading here is going to be for this new moon, which, let's see, for me in my area where I am, I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so it will be on the 20th, so it'll be tomorrow for me. So it's on the 20th, but for some of you, it's going to be on the 21st, really depending on where you are. This will be a new moon in Cancer, also followed by I think a solar, it's either a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, one of those things. It will be, hold on a second, gotta turn my volume down. And keep in mind too that this also is coinciding with the summer solstice. So, you know, we are switching seasons, and I am a firm believer that you acclimate yourself with the season. So, like with the energy that you feel with your daily life, your daily routine, spiritually, you should acclimate yourself spiritually to the season, even physically. So, and you know, this really depends on how that resonates and what that is for you, because we all have our own path. Our paths are unique to ourselves. So my path is not going to be the same as your path or this other person's path. We have how many people on this earth? Let's say there's like 7 billion people on the earth. There are 7 billion paths that are unique to those individuals. They're all happening simultaneously. So we may somewhat have like similar belief systems, except for my words may be different than your words, but essentially they're the same thing. So one thing that I do believe in that really helps us all is especially if you consider yourself to be spiritual. If you are a spiritual being, you know yourself that your food is one thing that affects your spirituality. You don't have to be a vegetarian. You don't have to be a vegan to be spiritual, okay? But you do know that what foods you take in either deplete your energy or give you energy. Just like in medicine, the foods you take in are either going to give you inflammation or they're either going to reduce inflammation. Either the foods you take in are going to give your body acidity or they're going to give your body alkalinity, okay? So those 3 things there mean the exact same thing. They just have a different wording. So it just, you know, take your wording, whatever, and use it for yourself, and use it to however it acclimates or resonates with you. Now, I feel like when I'm talking about food, we're now going into summer. So Google, Pinterest. I love Pinterest, okay? I can stay on Pinterest all day. Go on Pinterest, pull up summer seasonal fruits and vegetables. Look at what foods are in season for summer. Now, me, I used to, I don't anymore because, life happens. Okay? Life happens. But I used to make a meal plan. I would have, tacos, pizzas, stir fry, ribs one week. And this was back whenever I did eat a vegetarian diet, okay? I made my son eat vegetarian as well, but I gave him one day a week to have whatever meat he wanted. His meat of choice was ribs. So he would have his ribs with mashed potatoes and like macaroni and cheese. That was his one day to have, his cheat day. Now, I don't do this now, but I definitely want to get back into doing this. So I would have like I said, stir fry, tacos, pizzas one day, like soup and something. So I would take these like, we'll say these bases, okay? So I would then go in and see what foods were in season. So like for the summer foods, I don't know what they are right now because I haven't looked, but whatever fruits and vegetables were in season, I would take those fruits and vegetables, and then like tacos, for example. How can I take these seasonal fruits and vegetables and make tacos out of it? How can I take these fruits and vegetables and make pizzas out of it? How can I make a stir fry out of these things? So I would do that on a weekly basis, but I would keep the bases the same. I would just rejuvenate them and change them up as the seasons changed with, the fruits and vegetables that came and went. And that, oh my gosh, I had like the best energy. My body felt amazing. That was probably like the best food-wise, the best time, eating pattern, whatever. I was probably the most healthy when I ate that way. So if that's something that interests you, look into it, play around with it, and be creative. Alright, so getting back to the reading part, don't forget to do the Instagram page. This is going to be a new moon reading. I'm going to use the Ascension cards for this reading. I love these cards. And then at the end, I'm going to pull one card per element. So there will be a card that's for fire signs, which would be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Then I'm going to pull a card for the water signs. And then I'm going to pull a card for the earth signs and then the air signs. Alright, so we'll see what that has in store for you. Alright, Ascension deck. I'm looking for 10 cards for a Celtic cross spread. What messages and guidance do you have for all viewers for this new moon? Take what messages resonate, and if it doesn't, then skip it. You never know, it might resonate at another date and time, because these they are timeless. Keep in mind too that a new moon has an effect for at least 30 days. We have these lunar and solar eclipses, so that can happen. That can impact you for at least 6 months. Alright, so, okay, so our first card is Archangel Metatron. So, you are blessed to receive this card for the mighty universal angel Metatron, who is coordinating the ascension of the planet, is touching you. He is illuminating your aura with his golden orange light as he works with your stellar gateway chakra. Your message is to relax and allow Metatron's wings to enfold you. Ask to visit him at his Ascension retreat in Luxor during meditation or sleep so that you can receive his guidance. This may come as a thought, a whisper, or a feeling. When you ask sincerely for help on your Ascension journey, Metatron will open new doors for you and guide you. The affirmation here is, I attune to Archangel Metatron today. Now, Archangel Metatron, so the situation here is, you may be feeling called to him. You may be feeling right now called to sacred geometry, to the Merkaba, the symbol of like the tree of life. You could be called to, like, you may feel like the angelic realm or beings from, you know, I would say like the ancestral plane, but the angelic realm are calling you or touching you or speaking to you. You may even notice that like new doors have been opening up for you recently. And if that's the case, then it is Archangel Metatron that is touching you. He's trying to assist you. He's trying to help you. Us people who consider ourselves to be earth angels, even star seeds, especially earth angels. If you consider yourself to be an earth angel, then you are definitely sensitive to this. You are aware of this. If you consider yourself to be a star seed, you could also be sensitive to this as well, because, you know, he's telling you that he is asking you to visit him in Luxor or Luxor, which could be a place either in Egypt or either in like a star. I received this card one time a couple years ago, and I asked him before I went to sleep to take me to his retreat, and I'm going to tell you, that's one dream that I will never forget. Like, he showed me the universe, like the galaxy. Wow, it was amazing. So, just know that if you feel compelled or touched by him or the angelic realm, or that these new doors are opening for you, then this is him. So you can call upon him, you can speak to him, you can ask to visit him in his Ascension retreat. You could also be having thoughts or whispers or feelings about certain things, like intuitive nudges. That's him, the one that's communicating with you. You know, it says in this card, first thing out the gate, you are blessed to receive this card. So he's helping you at this time ascend to a higher level. And it says at the bottom, when you ask sincerely for help on your ascension journey, Metatron will open the doors for you and guide you. So he's here trying to help you. Your block at this time is animals. Like humans, animals have come to Earth on their own soul journey. Originating from many planets and universes, some animals are here to learn, while others are here solely to teach or enlighten us. Because they are heart-centered, animals on this planet are designed to have experiences that are different from ours. The way in which we treat animals profoundly affects their ascension path as well as our own. Your guidance today is to call in Archangel Felier, Angel of Animals, to look after them, Archangel Michael to protect them, and the unicorns to enlighten them. I honor and respect all animals is the affirmation. So, you know, this is a number 2 card. 2 is all about partnerships. So you have a partnership with your animal. Here's the deal. If you don't have, so your animals at this time could be surrounding you. They could be they may even seem to you to feel needy right now. And if that's the case, then that's because there is something unique to your path as well as theirs that they have a mission to fill. They also can teach you and enlighten you. So if they're aggravating you, it might be because they have a message to give you. Like they're trying to get your attention for a reason. But you could not be open or receptive to this right now because it's a challenge. It's a block. You may feel like you're too exhausted and don't have the time right now for their extra neediness, whatever that may be. So whatever animal, like even if you are, like if you're having dreams right now and like animals are coming to you in your dreams, like those animals have meaning. The Native Americans believe that every animal carries medicine. Now, when I say medicine, the medicine is how you take it. How do you receive it? Because you can take medicine and you can digest it well. You can take medicine and not digest it so well. So it's like, how do you handle the message that they have for you? Because each one of them is bringing you a message. So, like for example, hummingbirds. Hummingbirds represent joy and effortless. They are able to go forwards, backwards, up, down, and they also are able to hover and look as if their wings aren't even moving, effortlessly. So dragonflies, when you see dragonflies, that's telling you to look past the illusion that your ego has created and focus more upon the heart center, which would be like let go and let God. Because a lot of times we block our own manifestations because we're too much in our head about it. So if you see a dragonfly, that dragonfly is confirming to you, get out of your head and stop, because you're blocking your manifestation. Deer is all about gentleness. So a deer came across the path of a demon and was able, because of the gentleness in its eyes, it was able to I almost want to say outsmart the demon, but it was like the demon saw how gentle and pure the deer was, and the demon couldn't attack it. So it moved out of its way. That gentleness, that purity, that innocence, that love. So that's how the power of that medicine. If you dream about snakes, then, or if you see a snake, snakes are about transmutation, like shedding, like snakes, when they shed their skin, they shed an old part of themselves. So how can you shed a part of yourself that needs to die? If you get bitten by a snake in a dream or in real life, that's an initiation. So if you have animals like that coming to you in your dreams, or you're seeing them and you don't know the meanings, feel free to message me. I can pass along that knowledge to you. But there's something here with animals that's blocking your ascension path. Either you're not able to decipher the message, or you're avoiding it, not wanting to look at it. You may even be in fear of it. Alright, so the basis of this reading, alright, we have nature. The nature kingdom was created from the heart of God. And this card is 3. So that's about the Trinity, the physical, the spiritual, and the mental. The 9th dimensional master, Pan, directs the elemental beings that support nature, along with Archangel Perlemiek, Angel of Nature. Lovingly holds and protects nature as it energizes you, raises your frequency, and purifies and heals you. Your guidance is to honor nature's beauty and its life force. If possible, go out into the meadows, forests, mountains, lakes, rivers, and let nature recharge, balance, and heal you. A love of and respect for nature is essential for your ascension and of the planet. The affirmation here is, I thank, bless, and love the entire nature kingdom. So this is in the base, the root of this reading. So you have been spending a lot of time outside. And I said bikes, so whether you've been outside riding your bike, I used to ride my bike, and I would ride my bike 100 miles a week as a road bike. So, and I would get out on the road and just ride, and I loved it. It was like, I used to think, and this was like before I really became spiritual, but I would think, gosh, when I get out on this bike and get on the road like this, I used to feel like nature just really took the stress away. Every time I got on my bike, I was like, this really, is it. This is the healing that I asked for and that I need. And I noticed that from hiking, and I would go with a friend, and we would climb this mountain. It was about 10 miles to the top. We would climb the mountain. It was an uphill the entire way. And then we would run back down the mountain, and I would always go first. And so they would just follow in behind me. And it was like an obstacle course, but it was amazing. It was fun. And like that there really helped. So it's like whatever you're doing outside right now, whether you're riding your bike, you're sitting outside. I've just been going on my porch and sitting out in my yard. I've started growing some flowers and some vegetables. So even that's calling out to you. There's something with you doing that has created this catalyst here for this ascension. It's helping to raise your frequency. It's helping to energize you. It's helping to protect you, purify you, and heal you. So honor it when you go back out into it. Alright, so in the past, we have air. The element of air supports truly magical cosmic qualities. Sylphs are air elementals working for the elemental master Dom and supervised by the unicorns. You are guided to ask the unicorns to direct Dom and his sylphs to spread the qualities of air, enlightenment, ascension, enthusiasm, freedom, and divine vision into the minds of those who need them. Also ask them to purify currents of air and blow them to polluted areas so that they may be cleansed. Help the fairies work with flowers by acknowledging and appreciating them. The affirmation for this card is, I invoke air to carry angel singing around the world and bring hope and peace. So with air is all about thoughts. And I would say that this card here has probably come up because of, I would say, all the riots and the Black Lives Matter. Like, a lot of people have been very vocal here in the past 3 weeks to a month. A lot of people have been praying. So this, I can see where this would coincide with that. Hopefully you're able to convey that as well. So with this card here, whether you've been thinking it or having conversation with friends or praying about it, there's been some type of upliftment here that through word and through thought that has been needed in the past. So that's where this card's coming in. So if you feel really compelled to this, call upon Dom and the sylphs, call upon the unicorns, and ask, that that they bring about hope and peace around the world. So that prayer there is something that was a part and essential for this ascension process that we're all going through. Alright, so presently speaking, this card right here. See, when I talked about Archangel Metatron at the beginning, and I said I pulled this card, it wasn't Archangel Metatron's card I pulled, it was this card that I pulled. And when I pulled this card, I called upon him and I asked him to take me to his retreat. So this is the card here that, I love this card when it comes up. So this is at the present time. The Great Masters of Earth have had incarnations, mastered their lessons, and ascended. They are disciplined but compassionate, for they understand the challenges of being in a physical body. This is an invitation to visit in sleep or meditation those ascended masters from whom you wish to learn. In their retreats in the inner planes, they teach their skills and knowledge to students. You can absorb this at an etheric level and start to bring the wisdom into your life. If you feel a resonance with a particular ascended master, ask them to guide you. The affirmation for this card is, I walk with ascended masters. So like these affirmations, you can speak these affirmations to invoke the meaning of the card. Or you can say, a little prayer around the card to, how whatever you feel compelled to do. So with this card, I called upon Archangel Metatron because at that time in my life, I was working, I felt called to him a lot at that specific time. I kept receiving geometric shapes in my dreams, and he is associated with geometric shapes. He and Archangel Sandalphon. So I called upon him, and sure enough, boy, I went to his retreat, all right. And it was awesome. Like I said, that's a dream I'll never forget. So, right now, you are, especially if you are feeling an opening within, like studying or something's calling to you. I mean, this is like, when I say this, you could be like driving down the road and like think of Atlantis, or just be like, on the brain today, you had something about like a Celtic time period, or Stonehenge, or King Arthur, or something like in Australia. You know, whatever time frames and places have been on your mind that you've had thoughts about, when you think of things like that, those things are also speaking and thinking of you as well. There's the connection. So this is currently, right now at this time, something of this matter has been in your mind, in your thoughts. So whatever that is, like, it's calling to you. So invite it in and see where it takes you. Like with this card, it's telling you, you know, you can say before you go to sleep, you can say it right now, wherever place it is, ask to be taken there in your sleep so that you can absorb and learn from it and see what message it has in store for you. Alright, so ooh, I love this one. So we are moving into, this is going to be like the next 3 days to 3 weeks to 3 months. Sirius. The star system of Sirius, and if you are like a star seed, then you could originate from Sirius. And I'm going to tell you right now, there has been plenty of times where I have stood in my yard at nighttime and been like, something is calling to me, like what I said, when you have those thoughts, okay, when you think of those things, when you feel like what's over there, like you feel something, like something's looking over your shoulder, and you turn around, it might not be a person, but it's like an object or something, it catches your attention, then that thing is also speaking to you. So, you know, there's been plenty of times where I've stood in my yard and been like, something is calling me from over there, and turn around and look, and it's been this star. Now this star here, when Venus isn't visible in the night sky, Sirius is the brightest one. Now, I said, as soon as I said Venus and then went to say this, I also forgot about Jupiter, because Jupiter is really bright as well. Okay, like I think Venus and Jupiter are the 2 brightest planets in our solar system. So just keep that in mind. How you can differentiate Sirius is that when you look at Sirius, Sirius has a series of 3 flashes. It would be like blue, white, red, or red, white, blue, but it's like it has a pattern, so it fluctuates through those flashes. That's how I know it's Sirius. And I say that because I have felt it speak to me, and I have turned around and looked at it and sat there and watched it, like stargazed at nighttime, and I've watched the flash, the sequence, and then I've gotten my phone out, which has either Google Sky Maps on it or Stargazer, and been like, what the heck is this here that's talking to me? And it be Sirius. So be aware of the night sky and the star coming up here in the next couple weeks. Okay. The star system of Sirius holds 12 of the universal keys to enlightenment and ascension. When you access and comprehend them, you become a master of the universe. This card invites you to visit the training schools and universities of Sirius in your sleep in order to develop your higher mind. Access the spiritual laws of alchemy and magic. Understand sacred geometry and tune in to angel sonics and higher dimensions. This is an opportunity to learn through the inner planes about spiritual technology and bring it forward for the new golden age. I'm telling you, there is a huge ascension process going on this planet, and a lot of it has to do with downloads and upgrades, ascension, I feel, at nighttime. because we have 3 cards here that speak of going to sleep and visiting these places and receiving these downloads, receiving this knowledge. So if you are one that uses sleep as a tool, then you have a huge connection here to be able to connect yourself during sleep with these 3 places or things, where you're going to receive a lot of information that you have been asking for or looking for. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? This information right here that you receive is not something you can find in a textbook. This is information you can't find on this earth. This is information that you have to connect to on a different plane, in a different dimension, that's going to be unique and individual to you. Information that's going to be for you. I received all this information about why we were here and where we came from and about life and what our purpose was. And I was like, it was a huge moment for me 7 years ago when I received all this. I was like, I got to go tell everybody. And I went to try and go tell everybody. But then God came to me one day and said, look, child, the information that I gave to you was a gift for you. It's not for everybody else. Not everyone else is open and ready to receive the truth like that. And I was like, well, why not? And he was like, because not everyone has the same path as you do. Not everyone has the same wants and desires as you do. You wanted knowledge, I gave it to you. But that doesn't mean that knowledge is for everybody. That's knowledge for you. And I was like, but man, you know, like, I like want to share it. Like, people should know. And he even took it to a whole nother level. He was like, all right, then here's how you will know if the information is meant for others or not. When you go to tell someone, you will notice between their reaction and their body language, which I'm good at reading people without words. He was like, you'll know, because if the information is not for them, it will fall on deaf ears. If it's meant for them, then they will be open to it and they will receive it. So I was able to discern after that who had deaf ears when I went to talk about that information. You know, it was also shocking to see how many people opened up to the information. They received it, but it didn't impact their life or make them change. Well, I don't know. I can't judge that, because it could have, but for me, it almost seemed like they took the information and was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And they were like, man, that's awesome. But then it's like they didn't make no changes in their life, or none that I could see that changed their path or made them want to do better. But again, that's just from my personal observation. I mean, for me, it changed my life completely, like drastically, to the T, everything, like down to my core. So anywho, whatever. But like he said, you know, it wasn't for everybody, it was for me. So who am I to judge? Alright, so let's see what our advice is. Gosh, Lord Jesus, here he is again. So Archangel Metatron is for real up in this reading, y'all. Okay? It is an honor to receive this card, for the cloak allows Metatron's energy to be held in your aura. It ensures that your 12 chakras are open and protects you from lower energies. This means that you can link to the 7th dimension of Hollow Earth and access wisdom from the 4 Ascension planets. Walk tall and stand in your power. Wearing this cloak will help you guide others on their ascension path. You are called on to do this. Empower people to see who they are and what they can do. Now see, this almost resonates with what I just said. Okay, like I for real told those people, but it's like it didn't really empower them, and I didn't really see them do anything with it. So now, you see what I'm saying? Alright, so the affirmation with this card says, I stand in my power and lead others forward. So your advice is, call upon Archangel Metatron, ask to wear his cloak, and wear it because it will help keep you protected, like especially during this new moon and this solar eclipse thing. We've also got Mercury retrograde going on right now. There's also like 4 other planets in retrograde right now, and I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to tell you, when these planets that are like major, like that are going on right now, when these planets have gone in retrograde before, we've had like war, I can never say the world war. Okay, there it goes. 1 and 2. We had like a civil rights. I mean, like the major battles and wars, or even like major, like natural disasters, like they have happened when these daggone planets have gone retrograde like they have. And they do that for a purpose. And it is because, darkness has to conspire first before the light can be found, before the light can be ignited. So if you can have that perspective when you see these things, like all this shit that's going on right now, that's the darkness, like being illuminated. So that, because when the light is found, the light, that fire, that spark, it then gets transformed. It gets burnt. Because what does fire do? It transforms, it transmutes. So it's like the darkness has to come forward. The light will soon take flight. And then we'll have a transformation, a transmutation of the old. We'll have stuff that is, being shed so that new stuff can rise. So while this is going on, this might be like, like for yourself with the scripture, peace be still. That means like you remain in peace and have peace within yourself. You stay calm while there's a storm going on around you, and know when to bide your time. Wait for the storm to settle and then move forward. So like with this card here, even if there's like crazy stuff going on around you right now, remain in peace, remain in your center, remain grounded, call upon Metatron, take upon his cloak and wear it. Allow it to guide you, and allow it, because if you allow it to guide you and you open up to his wisdom, you will know the people, places, and or things that you are called on to help. Because those things you will have nudges. You will have intuitive insights to say something to someone, to show this person this. I mean, I had a man yesterday that was like, he was like, I don't know what it is about you, but you were like a godsend. And I said, yeah, I know. He just looked at me. I was like, boy, I got that little light of mine. I've been singing that sucker since I was like 3 years old. Okay? I walk the path with Jesus, buddy. Like, I am all for some Jesus. Okay? I feel like we should all, especially if you get saved and you say the little thing where you ask Jesus to come within your heart. If you are in your heart space, if you live your life from your heart center and not your mind, then you will know, because this is the same thing. Like, you live like a virtuous life. And when you live a virtuous life, you have a light that not many people see. And it's like when you shine, people are gravitated toward you. People will spot you out. I had a grown man tell me in a restaurant one day, young lady, you are like a rainbow of light up in this dark place. And I was like, thank you. I sure am, boy. And he was like, girl, you light this place up. I've never heard a man talk about rainbows before. Okay? So, anywho. So, yes. Be the light. Help and empower others. You can empower people just upon your presence. They say, like, lead by example. Lead. Show people a good example of how to live, of how to just be. Illuminate as you go. Alright. Woo, boy. Alright, so in our environment, we have Buddha. When you draw this card, Lord Gautama, who became the Buddha, is calling you to live in a state of peace, compassion, and enlightenment. You are ready to expand your consciousness to include all that is and to view the world from a higher perspective. You are asked to live in total harmlessness with all things. And that's that virtuous life I was telling you about. This creates safety for you, for all creatures will love you and feel safe with you. Your guidance is to remember we are all one and to treat each person, animal, and sentient being as they are a beloved part of you. So the advice here, the affirmation here is, I am one with everyone and everything. And that one's got 3-3 on it. Talk about ascended masters, the Trinity, double time. So yes, if you can practice being like Jesus, practice being like Buddha. And when I say being like Jesus, here's the thing that it ticks me off with church. This is one reason why I don't go to church. Because I have noticed that, and it could be too with where I am. Because the town that I live in, it is a lower vibration. You want to, I have noticed that when you live in a high vibrational town, a high vibrational city, you are actually able to really grow and prosper. Things can't hold you back. The people can't hold you back. But if you live in a town or place that's the vibration and the frequency is of lower vibration, then you will be held down. And people will try and hold you back. And that's why they gossip about you and talk shit about you. You got to also keep in mind too, okay? Jesus could not teach people in Bethlehem where he was born. That's why in the heck he got up and walked to a different town, a different place. Whether it took him 60 miles to get there or not, he didn't let that stop him. Because he knew he couldn't teach those people. Because those people only saw him for who he was when he was growing up. And what was that? Oh, you're just that little boy of Mary. That boy born from a virgin. You're just that little boy Jesus. And I'm telling you, when he left and went somewhere else, those higher vibrational people ran to him and was like, oh, it's Jesus. They knew who he was. They were waiting on him. So, you see, the people in your environment and where you are, don't let them hold you back. Jesus didn't let them hold him back. So ask yourself, Jesus was a man of virtue. He is the leader of all 7 virtues. If you can teach yourself what the virtues are versus what the sin is, there are 7 sins. For every 7 sin, there is a heavenly opposite of that, which is called a virtue. He's in charge of every one of those virtues. He encompasses all of them. So, when you say you're a Christian, then you let go of all sins. You let go of judgment. You let go of criticism. And that's the thing I can't stand about church, because church is where I am. Like I said, it could be just where I live. They all want to talk about sin and criticism and judgment. And it's like, you are what you hang with. I don't want to be subjected to sin every daggone Sunday when it's supposed to be about Jesus and about virtue. I want to hear about love and compassion and humility. I want to be taught, how can I be more like Jesus? I don't want to hear what sin and criticism and judgment are, because all they're doing is teaching me how to be more like the devil. I don't want to be like the devil. He's the damn reason why I'm here on this earth plane, and you, in the first place. I want to be like Jesus so I can learn how to be a loving, open, compassionate, humble being, so that I can learn how to get my ass back home. That's one reason why I don't go to church. Anywho, so embrace the Buddha, embrace the virtue, and spread that stuff around like it's cotton candy. Alright, so our hopes and fears. Fire dragons. Okay? Dragons are fourth-dimensional elements. They can access and transmute heavy vibrations that angels cannot reach. Archangel Gabriel oversees Thor and his fire dragons. You are asked to send out fire dragons supervised by Gabriel to consume negativity in places and auras. Then ask Gabriel's angels to replace the lower energies with the shimmering diamond of pure light. Call on a fire dragon, to transmute any stuck energy in your own aura and to light you up at a higher frequency so that you can radiate enthusiasm and joy. So the affirmation for this card is, I invoke fire dragons to clear my path to ascension. So you have hopes and fears that either the people around you or even yourself, especially if you feel, because I'm going to tell you something, boy, Mercury retrograde will make you feel like you were in a dark space. And a lot of times that's necessary because the darkness is what leads to the light. You can't have darkness without light. You have to embrace the shadow just as much as you embrace the light. You've got to have contrast. You got to have that balance. It's like if you have too much light, then when the darkness comes, you'll get consumed by the hate, frustration, and the anger because you're in so much light that you can't stand, you don't know how to feel in the shadow, the darkness. So it's like if you can find a medium in between, a balance between the two, then you can you'll find that you can navigate the energies easier if you can find balance between those two. How can you love the darkness and also love the light? Because if you can love the contrast along with the shadow, if you can love it as much as you do the light, you'll find that you'll have balance when the shadow comes. You'll have balance when the light comes, and it won't affect you as bad. But for some, it is going to affect bad because of the lower vibrations that's going on right now. So try to remain in a peaceful state and know and embrace the shadow while Mercury does its thing for like the next 3 to 4 weeks. Our outcome. Woo! Unicorns. And look, boy, that's a 22. That's double. When you think about unicorns, your frequency rises and you attune to them. These pure, white, 7th dimensional ascended horses are touching you as you read this card. They have come to you because you have a soul desire to serve humanity or the planet. Bathe yourself in their energy and they will give you the dignity, confidence, and strength to do what is right. Other people will sense this and respond to it. Unicorns grant wishes to the pure in heart, so ask them to bring something significant to you now. The affirmation for this card is, I connect with the unicorns. So when we read this card and we think of this card, whatever wish you have, now's a good time to pause and ask for it, or do it alone later in meditation, however you choose to do it, whatever works for you. Ask them to bring something to you because like this card says, they will grant you a wish. Here it is. This is also our outcome. So something is going to be coming forward for you within the next 30 days, like I said. This card speaks of being that light, like I said. You may find that through this ascension, this is how you are and the way you're going to come across to others within the next 30 days. Which means like, we should be out of Mercury retrograde. We should be out of the shadow, into the light. And like your confidence, your dignity, your strength, that beacon, like I was telling you earlier when I said that grown man said I was like a rainbow, that's you. And it's a unicorn, boy. You can't get better than unicorns. Like, I love unicorns. I feel like that's why children are drawn to them as a kid, because children, you know, as a child you're so innocent and unicorns are so magical. So that's going to be innocent and magical is how we're going to be at the end of this. Alright, so let's see. Alright, messages. I'm looking for 4 cards. First card for the fire signs, second card for the water signs, third card for the earth signs, fourth card for the air signs. What messages do you have for each element at this time? What messages and or guidance do you have for each element at this time? Alright, fire signs. Your message is Akasha. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. So focus upon that right there, because that's really going to, like, this whole Ascension reading here is really going to help you do this. It's going to help open up the spiritual teacher within yourself. And have confidence and dignity and strength, like this unicorn card said. Have that so that you can go forward and help enlighten people and awaken the teacher within them. Alright, water signs. We have Merlina. You are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So like with this card here, call upon Archangel Metatron, the Retreat, Sirius, grab this cloak, even the unicorns, and ask them to help give you the information that you lack. And then if you feel that there is lower vibrations or lower energy around you, call upon Thor, call upon Archangel Gabriel and the dragons to transmute it. Earth signs. We have Celeste. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. So, like, you could feel like you've been held back, or, yeah, something could be holding you back. It could be this Mercury retrograde. It could be that you lost a job or something. Or maybe you feel like the home that you're in is holding you back. Or even the town, like I was saying earlier, the town that you're in is holding you back. And if that's the case and you've been feeling like you want to move, then the time to move then would be now, like the next 30 days. I wouldn't move during Mercury retrograde, okay? I would not. Wait till after the Mercury goes direct. But at least right now, while Mercury is in retrograde, you can be asking the questions and looking for the place. I just wouldn't sign any contracts until after Mercury retrograde's over with. And if you have been at a loss for an income because of a job, then a new one is coming to you. Alright, so air signs. Caressa. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. So this card is letting you know, air signs, that it has been a tough cycle. This is, like, I see the World card when I see this. So something is coming to an end. But it's like a train. You know, when a train takes off, and even when a train stops, the first caboose has to take the first step. And then it's like you've got to give the rest of the cabooses or the rest of the trailers or whatever the heck they're called, you have to give them a moment to build up the momentum to move. So it's like a process, you know. When one door closes, another one opens. Keep that in mind. So just be patient as this cycle comes to an end. And you got this. So I hope this all has met you all on a good foundation, or helps to give you some hope, some peace, something. Please feel free to share, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys all again here soon. Take care and namaste.